Hello everyone, we're here today with Mrs. Teresa Berg and Mette Brusgaard, teachers of English at the Svendborg Gymnansium. We want to ask you some questions about your school. The first one is that during these days we observed that every student has got his own device at school and makes use of it in class. Do you have any regulation about the use of it at school?
Yes.
Do you want to take that one?
Okay. Well, it's up to the individual teacher how he or she wants to use or allow the students to use the computer. And you can also, if you want to, or if you don't want the students to use it, that's okay as well. It's up to the teacher.
It's up to the teacher.
And if you think they misuse them, if they use the smartphones where they're not able to, when they're not allowed to, or when they're not supposed to, you can actually just take it away from them. You can take it and
or say
and lock it.
Put it in your bag.
Or I can take
Because
it and you get it
label,
back on Monday or something.
Okay.
We're actually allowed to sort of take it from them.
Yeah.
So, but generally we start by saying put it in your bag and but we regulate it individually as teachers.
The general rule is it's up to the teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but when you talk about device, you talk about both about computers and telephones.
Yeah.
But I think most teachers would be annoyed if, or when the students have the telephone next to them and they're constantly controlling if their friends have sent them a message or So most teachers,
because they will not attend the right way the lesson probably. Okay.
Get distracted.
Yeah, you're right. All students use digital devices. When do they start using these devices in Danish school? Is there a specific subject dedicated to it at school?
She has children.
Yeah, they start using digital devices the first year at school. So in preschool and the first year.
Yeah.
How old are they?
When they are 6 years old.
6 years old.
But it's a tablet. They use tablets.
Tablets.
And the school provides tablets for them, and they play mathematical games, or they play letter games where they need to combine letters or learn the sound of a letter or the combination of sounds of letters. So it's into that extent.
Into the curriculum, but
in the lessons themselves. Yeah, and when they are 8, the third year in school, they start using tablets to write on. They learn how to write notes, write smaller text presentations,
But not as a specific subject.
Not as a subject. It's
General.
in the subject. In the Danish teacher. It's cross-curricular. Yes, the Danish teacher would teach them how to use a Word document and how to sort of write digitally.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it will be used in all classes.
Yeah.
And the next question is there any digital curriculum at school? And if there is this curriculum European, national, or at local level, that is a school level?
There's not a curriculum. There is a set of ethical... what do you call it?
Ethical, you mean?
Rules. Then the rules or the guidelines or the values.
An etiquette.
Digital etiquette,
Etiquettes,
digital
you mean.
etiquettes.
Yeah.
And it's on a national level because it's written into the
papers.
to the teaching
laws.
The teaching law, the laws that we follow.
Yeah.
There are specific paragraphs about that we are obliged to teach them to have digital competences, and that they need to be sort of able to move around digitally.
And it's also in the schools. The school has a plan. What sort of initiatives?
The visions.
The visions. What sort of initiatives the school wants to take, and one of this school's initiatives is to introduce and use digital devices in class.
And that's quite specified, that when they are done after 3 years, they need to be able to work in a writing document of some sort. They need to be able to
That is, you have
look
to,
up. I
you
mean,
have
there's
to, you have to reach some skills.
yes, and
according
these
to
are
different ages,
yes, and
yeah.
these are pointed out quite sort of not in detail, but roughly the things that
Okay.
we expect teachers to get the students through during the 3 years that they spend on gymnasium.
Okay. And as teachers, do you have a specific training about the use of ICT with students?
No,
No,
We have-
well, both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
We have our own competences. That is, I know how to use Microsoft Word program, and that's what I expect the students to use as well when they
and
hand
online
yeah,
dictionaries, and
Yeah.
so you need to
when they hand in essays, etc. And then, of course, we also use different programs to exercise vocabulary, and probably math teachers and physics teachers, etc., have other specific programs.
Can go deep.
Yeah.
Mm.
But then, of course,
And we are expected to be able to sort of carry out, teach these programs and know how to
As
sort
your
of-
background.
as simply as being
a professional teacher in,
Is expected.
in
Should is
2017.
expected to have.
yeah.
But
But we do have, well, not external but internal workshops where we sort of
You can have.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mette
I
is
am responsible for sort of with a colleague of mine, Mess and I carry out workshops at this school to help colleagues with some of the struggles that they have with the digital programs that we use.
Yeah.
This is
because the school has introduced this Office 365, and it's been hard for some of us. Some of us still refuse to use it. But Mads and Mette are
Training. Some
I-
training workshops.
yeah, trainers and
bystanders in some
Yeah.
degree. We just help out when in different levels of
How to use
help.
it.
Yeah. But it's not
it's not an obligation. We don't have to use this office, but
there's an underlying obligation. There is
Yeah.
a sense of
since the school has invested in this program,
It's better to use it.
and all colleagues
Yeah.
have been introduced to it. There
Yeah.
has been a level that every teacher has been through workshops explaining and showing the program. So in that sense, it's not
completely dark and
This for
country.
Office 365, but for general training in digital.
We have that as well. It's just that we introduced Office 365 2 years ago, and because it's so new and it's quite large, the possibilities of working collaboratively and working between teachers and between students, it's taken up a lot of our time. Mads and I, we work with digital programs and digital uses in the lessons in general. But the last couple of years have been a lot,
Focused
only about
on this software. Okay.
yeah, because it's so new and it's been such a challenge for some.
But all the other programs that we use, that's just individual interest. That we want to find a program that can train.
If you use a Quizlet,
Can improve your teaching.
memorize a Quizlet, the different learning apps. These are something that we as teachers individually choose and use in our lessons as we feel.
And then we might inspire each other. I just found this, and then we'll show each other what to do.
And there's actually quite a lot of this more private sharing between colleagues. This has
That's the same. That's the same in, I think in our country. That is we do.
Yeah.
We share. We talk about it all. I
Yeah,
found
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Can it be interesting even for you? Okay.
and that works very well as well. I think. I mean, it's a way of
And it's also a way
Inspiring each other.
and of creating variation in the classroom.
Do you have special needs students in your school anyway? And do they attend ordinary classes? is there any other teacher that helps them or assistant?
If we go beyond Svendborg Gymnasium, we have both. We have schools that only have special needs children, with the teachers taking care of them. But we also have an inclusive approach to teaching in Denmark. So we have a lot of schools where they have children in the normal average school classes that have special needs. And then often there is not an additional teacher, but someone with the abilities to help this, an assistant of some sort. Yeah.
But in gymnasium, it's generally expected that the students can do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, we do have dyslexic students who get special help and who get different services, electronic devices, extra time at exams, so that they have the time to do the exam just as well as
to meet the demands that that are asked of them.
Okay. Do teachers foster computational thinking at school, or any way do they practice coding at school?
Coding? No. Coding. No. I know that our schools, as our VUC Odense, there are schools that sort of in Denmark, but only a couple that might
have this experience.
or have an subject that sort of deals with coding, but no, we don't.
No.
Okay. Do you have in Denmark a system of evaluation at school? And if there is this a national system or a local system? Do you have an improvement plan?
Yeah, well, I think underlined. I think it says in the law that governs the gymnasium that we have to evaluate our lessons, but it doesn't say on a national level how to do it. And then locally in our school, it says that we have to evaluate our lessons annually, every year, and we do that by either using a template form that one of the administrators has created, or we do it in a different way. But it's we're obliged to do an annual evaluation with the
where
students.
the students evaluate the lessons. They evaluate themselves, not only the teacher, but they evaluate themselves, the class, and they evaluate the subject, and they do to some degree evaluate the teacher as well.
Yeah.
And
then the plan of improvement, general, if the students are negative about things, you have a discussion with them. How can we improve this? You have a discussion with the class, and maybe you try to explain to the students the reason why a teacher practices in one way or another, and then you reach some sort of agreement. Very, very rarely will it actually come to some sort of confrontation between the students and the teachers.
It's an anonymous evaluation.
Yes, so the students can actually write whatever they like.
Yeah, and some can be quite harsh.
Yeah.
And do parents say can take part in this process?
No.
We have very little to do with the parents, actually.
Yes.
Because they are between 15 and 20 years of age when they
grow up.
They are seen as more or less grown up. So we have very little
and
to
actually
do with
once they are considered adults from the age of 18, the parents can't. They're not allowed to interfere. But of course,
and the letters are just sent to the students, not the parents.
Yeah. But of course, if the parents, while the child is still a minor, the parents can call the school and can contact teachers to ask about this or that. Yeah.
And what about the head? Can the head evaluate your work?
He rarely does
He
that.
really does. Yeah, that's not the culture of the place or in the gymnasium in general that we are evaluated.
No.
No.
You have, when the students have done their evaluation, you have a meeting. You have, all teachers have an annual meeting with their, how should we put it? The closest
Everyone
leader.
is assigned a leader that you go to in case of conflicts or things that you.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone has a personal.
A personal leader.
Yeah.
And actually, this personal leader can see the class's evaluations of you, and if needed, you can have a conversation with him or her about the student's evaluation of the teaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
But it's-
for your time. It was very kind of you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.